ओके। बड़े दिनों के बाद सबको नमस्कार। ईट स्लीप ड्रिंक क्रिकेट पे हमारे बनॉट साहब सूर्य नारायण भास्कर भी हमें ज्वाइन कर चुके हैं। अभिजीत नहीं आ रहे, वो पता नहीं कहाँ घूम रहे हैं। जो भी है, शायद अभी भी वो इंडिया की जीत की खुशी अभी भी उनसे निकला नहीं है उनके मन से, तो वो
नहीं, वो
सेलिब्रेट।
शायद अभी यूरो कप देख रहे हैं वो। इंग्लैंड
हाँ।
और स्लोवाकिया का
हाँ,
मैच।
तो फुल ठीक है, जो भी है सेलिब्रेशन करके ही आएंगे वो, जो भी है।
हाँ हाँ।
खैर, सो भास्कर, सीधे मुद्दे की बात पे आता हूँ।
ठीक
11
है।
साल बाद फिर कप कहीं ना कहीं जीत गए, तो आपके अंदर जो इमोशन है, प्लीज उसको प्रकट करें, आप उसको इजहार करें।
देखिए, लास्ट पिच जब हम एक 2007 और 2013 के बीच में एक ऐसा एक माहौल बन गया था, ऑलमोस्ट लाइक द डोमिनेटिंग फेज ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया, दैट जीतना ही है हमको, मतलब वी वर सो कॉन्फिडेंट। लाइक 2014 का, इफ यू रिमेंबर, व्हेन वी वेंट इनटू द लाइक वर्ल्ड T20 फाइनल इन 2014, लाइक वी कुडंट इवन इमेजिन दैट वी गोना लूज टू श्रीलंका। ठीक है नहीं, तभी वी वर लाइक सो कॉन्फिडेंट, अरे ये तो जीतने ही वाले हैं हम अभी, धोनी कैप्टन है। But that loss, it all started from that loss, if you remember. Virat Kohli again played a similar role which he played yesterday. 76 of like some 56 balls, something like that. Na? Very, very similar role. Very, very similar innings he played. But unfortunately, India ended up scoring only 130 runs. Because you remember Virat, like Yuvraj got stuck. And since then, it's been the same case. We've done brilliantly well in all the ICC tournaments, except for the one ICC, like World T20 World Cup, which was played in Dubai. Since 2014, we've been in the semi-finals of each and every ICC event. In fact, many of them finals, like even including the WTC, two WTC finals, the Champions Trophy final, the World Cup 50 over World Cup final, and before that, of course, the 2014 T20 final. तो उसके वजह से थोड़ा सा मतलब expectations थोड़ा low ही था. But having said that, once we knew that we're going to meet South Africa, I think who have a like somehow they've managed to not win anything in spite of having probably a very great team. So I think that's where the hopes started coming up. तो इंग्लैंड was supposed to be the biggest target, biggest challenges for us. एक बार ऑस्ट्रेलिया बाहर हो गया तो ऐसा लगा था कि इंग्लैंड को अगर हरा देंगे तो हम फाइनल शायद जीत जाएंगे। तो कल काफी होप था, तो टॉस जीत के बैटिंग बल्लेबाजी किया, तो उसी थोड़ा वहां पर 36 for 3, that set us back, but somehow we managed a very good total. I think it was like above par in a
मैच
World
पे
Cup
आएंगे
final.
आप, बस
हाँ
पहले
हाँ।
अपना इमोशन दें।
बस बस आज वही, कल से मैंने देखो, रात को हम मैच कभी खत्म हुआ 12:30 बजे तक खत्म हुआ, कभी 12 साढ़े 12, उसके बाद थोड़ा यूरो कप देखा, और उसके बाद 3 4 बार हाइलाइट्स देख लिया रात को। फिर आज सुबह दोबारा आज रिप्ले देखा। फिर लास्ट 30, लाइक 30 रन से, 30 बॉल 30 रन से, इट वाज ऑलमोस्ट लाइक मॉर्निंग। आई व्हेन आई वोक अप, आई वाजंट श्योर कि ये सच में ये हो
हुआ
चुका
है
है
कि नहीं?
कि इज इट रियली अ ड्रीम। सो देन आई गॉट to my senses and really like realize that it's actually a dream come true. Uh, but we have seen that golden phase, no? So I think it's a great moment. It's more of a relief than absolute ecstasy. That's what I would say, because uh, 2007 was the ecstasy, and we didn't expect to win. And then since then, we went on from strength to strength. And we've had a wonderful team. Last, I think, 10, 12, 14, 13 years, we've probably been the most dominant cricketing force in the world. And that's why it was more of a relief than an absolute joy of ecstasy, which I think, 2011 was. But I think it was a great moment. Like again, 30 balls, 30 runs ke time pe I started losing hope, but I think we had just with Bumrah. So it's a great day. I've been watching the highlights again and again. The last Surya Kumar Yadav ka catch, I don't know, maybe 20, 25 times I've already seen it. Uh, the class and wicket. So it's just the last 5 overs. I've relived it again and again, tried to relive it. क्योंकि अगर ये मैच हार जाते तो बाकी मैचेस देखने का भी मन नहीं करता था, isn't it? So I think after what happened on 19th of November, we all became a bit somber, and we tried to accept the philosophical होने लग गए थे. But again, we are back to where we should be. I think more trophies are coming. If you see India win in clusters, so I see more trophies being picked up. So India has been playing brilliantly over the years. Rajiv.
हम्म। मेरा अगर हम इमोशन पूछा जाए तो आई थिंक सी 2014 में जब श्रीलंका से आ रहे थे, आई वाज वेरी डिसअपॉइंटेड एंड ऑल, बट दैट वाज अ डिसअपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ द मैच। एंड जो हुआ उससे एक डिसअपॉइंटमेंट था उससे पहले कि एशिया कप हुआ जिसमें धोनी नहीं खेले, विराट कोहली वाज द कैप्टन, एंड वी लॉस्ट। यू रिमेंबर आफरीदी गॉट दोस 2 or 3 sixes
Mm-hmm.
against Ashwin, and 2 sixes I think,
Mm-hmm.
and won that match, and otherwise we could have gone to the
Mm-hmm.
this thing. So anyway, so what really happened was कि T20 में suddenly Dhoni came, and I think a couple of players came, and we became very very strong. And that final, Malinga and Kalvutarna, I think, no, Kulashekara, they just
Mm-hmm.
bowled very good slow off cutters, and जो 160 हो सकता था 30 रन कम हो गया. And
And Yuvraj got stuck. Remember, probably it's one of
yeah,
his most
Yuvraj got
disappointing
stuck, and
knocks.
also what happened is they did not give strike to Kohli at all.
And
Kohli
Kohli
को
got
they
stuck on
just
the
kept,
non-strikers.
हाँ, otherwise he was
They
playing
insisted
very,
it was Yuvraj, and when he got out, by the time Dhoni came, there were like very few balls
yeah,
left.
yeah. So I think उस दिन हमें नहीं पता था, we none of us realized कि ये it will just take us down the slide. मतलब हर बार
Mm-hmm.
जाके, and if you see every ICC tournament, we just that when the moment comes, we become that much more circumspect, that much more we
Mm-hmm.
get uh, panicky or pressure situation. We just get cooked up with the, and huh,
Having
बोलिए.
said that, we haven't been the greatest of teams in T20 cricket. So we haven't like जो हम बोल रहे हैं कि हमने बेहतरीन perform किया. Most of it has been in the 50 over format, like 2015 World Cup, 2017 Champions Trophy, 2019 World Cup, 2023 World Cup. But if you see, even in the 2016 T20 World Cup, which we lost in the semi-finals, we weren't doing really well. We were almost on the verge of getting knocked out when Dhoni pulled out that rabbit out of his hat and won that game again. We won that game against Bangladesh. अगर बांग्लादेश को 2 रन बना दिया होता तभी we would have got knocked out. And after that, we didn't have a T20 World Cup till 2020. Again, we played poorly in UAE. We got knocked out. Last World Cup, we were like not really up to the mark. We reached the semi-finals due to that innings from Kohli, but we were not really performing very well as a team. And we got knocked out
नहीं,
against a
मैं
rampaging
एक
English
मैं
side.
एक
So T20 World Cup is itna disappointing. We have not been that disappointed with T20s because we have never been that great a team. We were just picking the ODI team. So ODIs में we still probably we've been doing brilliantly in 50 over format. T20 में we were not really a champion side, I would say, after
नहीं. So
2014.
I'll give you some. See, the
Mm-hmm.
one of the things which I was mentioning to you is that it is a my thought is that उस दिन श्रीलंका के साथ ऐसा डिसअपॉइंट नहीं हुए क्योंकि चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी जीत गए थे, वर्ल्ड कप भी जीत गए, कोई बात नहीं, होता है यार. एंड देन आई
Mm-hmm.
रिमेम्बर मेरे एक बॉस थे, सो 2011 में इंग्लैंड के साथ 4-0 हारे थे अपन 2011 में.
Mm-hmm.
तो मैंने कहा यार 4-0 हार गए, ऐसे कैसे? So then he said very, and he was just a normal fan. He is not somebody who takes,
Mm-hmm.
that pride कि हर चीज जीतना है, वो ऐसा उतना एनालिसिस का है ही, यही नहीं है, स्कोप ही नहीं है. इज वर्ल्ड कप जीत गया ना है तेरे को, और क्या चाहिए तेरे को लाइफ में? एक दो हार हो गए तो फिर वही वेरी क्राइंग ऑन दिस करके. तो
Mm-hmm.
जनरली व्हाट हैपेंस इज पीपल दे डू नॉट नो व्हाट इज कमिंग अप. एंड दैट 2014 का वर्ल्ड कप में वी हैड द बेस्ट T20 साइड एक्चुअली फॉर इन दो सर्कमस्टेंसेस. अमित मिश्रा, अश्विन, दे वर ऑल बॉलिंग लाइक अ ड्रीम. एंड उस दिन हमारे पास वो रिसोर्स कम पड़ गया, एंड देन फाइनली वी लॉस्ट दैट दिस थिंग. हम युवराज को बहुत सारे लोग गाली देते हैं, बट व्हाट हैपेंस इज इन द सेम दिस थिंग वी हैव, हम फंस गए थे ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ. वो 4 विकेट जल्दी हो गया था. युवराज केम
Mm-hmm.
एंड हिट दोस बिग सिक्सेस एंड ऑल, and got a
Mm-hmm.
score which was Australia couldn't chase. So I guess what really happens here is that, you know, ये एक ट्रेंड था. लास्ट वर्ल्ड कप आई स्टिल अंडरस्टैंड दैट वी वर नॉट द बेस्ट ऑफ द टीम, बट एज द्रविड मेंशन, ये एक प्रोसेस है, and उस प्रोसेस को ही ये किया है. आई थिंक 19 नवंबर, yes it was a bad day, but we had all the ingredients to be the best team in that world cup. नहीं जीते, so we have to accept we are the
Mm-hmm.
second best, accept तो करना है.
Mm-hmm.
बट पता है कि वो प्रोसीजरली हम जो प्रोसेस सेटअप किया है उसमें फर्स्ट थे. एंड कहीं ना कहीं वो प्रोसेस आके आज जब हमारे पास, none of us had that expectation that this team would win, they really won. And our expectation started the day when we defeated Australia. तब हमें लगा कि हाँ अब सीन बदल चुका है करके.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So good victory. I think कल मैं तो बहुत मतलब आई वाज फीलिंग वेरी वेरी हैप्पी. टुडे मॉर्निंग वाज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट मॉर्निंग्स आई कुड हैव एवर इमेजिन.
Hmm.
ऐसे ही जाग गया मैं, बस आई वाज जस्ट वेरी हैप्पी.
Hmm.
और बट टू गो थ्रू ट्विटर, फेसबुक, फॉर फ्रेंड्स के स्टेटस, आई कुड नॉट इवन रिप्लाई टू मेनी ऑफ देम. बहुत ज़्यादा था मेरे पास. बट आई एम जस्ट सेइंग
Hmm.
कि दिस इज अ मोमेंट एवरीबॉडी विल savor, एंड आई एग्री विथ यू कि
Hmm.
once this happens, then you can go on a roll and win many more things. That
Hmm.
confidence will be there, right?
Hmm.
So my next question to you is, we'll come to that, what can happen way forward, हम बात करेंगे उसके ऊपर. But my question to you here is that what is now, अब इस टूर्नामेंट को अगर देखा जाए, so some
Hmm.
of us, and including me, I was not very happy with Rohit Sharma's selection as captain. We were
Hmm.
all thinking कि IPL है नहीं है करके. But कहीं ना कहीं ये prove हो गया है कि when you have a set of players playing for India, IPL है
Hmm.
नहीं है, it doesn't matter. All they picked up was Dubey was the only guy picked up from IPL performance. Even Sanju
Hmm.
Samson was in the mix. South Africa गया था, वनडे में 100 भी
Hmm.
मारा उसने. They were all in the mix except this fellow Dubey. So they picked the team which was already doing well, and they also ensured कि somehow, I don't know why, but somehow they saw that Rohit Sharma should lead this team. मैं तो बिल्कुल कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं था उसके ऊपर. बट रोहित शर्मा रियली प्रूव टू बी, मतलब वो अलग ही कैरेक्टर निकला. द वे ही इंस्पायर्ड दिस टीम वाज, मतलब इट, टू मी रोहित शर्मा लुक लाइक दैट MS Dhoni of 2018 IPL. Just time who engineered that win for
Hmm.
CSK after a very long time. So आप क्या सोचते हैं इसके बारे में?
Yeah, I think Rohit Sharma is like, I think I like his mindset. I'm also a bat first person because if you remember, Australia on a roll used to bat first. Only thing they had, even when they were made to chase, वो एक चीज है which we have not addressed, that if at all we lose the toss and we are made to chase, what we're going to do. But one thing is very, very clear: win the toss, bat first, put the runs on the board, and then we have probably the greatest uh, T20 fast bowler of all times. So I think, like, I've not seen another bowler bowl like this in T20 cricket, or like a player might be set and still he's just trying to survive as if it's a green top in a test match. Like Miller could have got out yesterday. He was also trying to survive, if you remember. The पहला जो
Correct.
delivery था, that 18th over, I think Miller could have got out of that ball itself. It would have been game over, right away. So I think Bumrah is half the side. I think without Bumrah, we are nowhere. We missed Bumrah big time in the last World Cup T20 World Cup semi-final. अगर वो होता तो I think it could have been a different story altogether. Uh, so I think that's where we are, like we're like dependent a lot on Bumrah. थोड़ा बहुत weaknesses हैं in T20 cricket, like the spinners and the third fast bowler, few things, a good batting lower down the order. So I think that those are the issues which we might have to address, because now we're not going to have Kohli or Rohit Sharma anymore to score those big runs. Whatever said and done, they are the two top highest run getters in T20 internationals. Rohit Sharma is number one, Kohli is number two, Babar Azam is number three. Probably Babar will cross them because these two have retired, and that's where I think we need a little bit of more of like solid and proper batsman who can hit big and also score big runs. वो एक probably that's something which we are lacking. Probably we will work on it. I think Rinku Singh, and I think those people will come to the party. I think Rinku can be that person. I don't know whether Rishabh Pant should continue batting at 3, because his game sometimes a new ball is he the right person. Those आएगा, but I think right now it's moment to savor. Watch the highlights. Semi-finals, finals का दोबारा देखो. Like we used to see Yuvraj's innings against Australia. I think we should watch Rohit Sharma's, I think one of the greatest T20 knocks you would see. It's just that it didn't come in a knockout game, but it was probably absolutely sublime. I think that was the innings of the World Cup. Rajiv.
Yeah. Undoubtedly. Rohit Sharma's 92 was the innings of the batting performance of the T20
And
was
because
Rohit
he
Sharma.
wasn't playing against some average team. He was hitting Pat Cummins. He was
Yeah.
playing against Josh
Stark.
Hazelwood. I think Hazelwood bowled very well. I don't. Did Stark play that day?
Yeah. Stark played. Huh? Stark
Stark
को
also played.
29 runs मारा ना.
Stark. Yeah, Stark played that day. I think Stark had missed an earlier game. So I think Stark, Hazelwood, Pat Cummins, they're like world class test class bowlers who play like who bowl test in test cricket and run through sides. So it was not as if he was hitting Afghanistan fast medium pacers or say even English bowlers. It was like the best, probably the best bowling at fast bowling attack right now in world cricket. So that was something very great to watch, and it helped knock out Australia and it
Hmm.
made a huge difference because Australia once they are in the knockouts they are a different beast. Though they haven't been the best of sides in T20 cricket. There have been 9 T20 World Cups and they've just won once and they've lost in one final. So they haven't been the best of T20 teams over the years anyway. But Australia is Australia. So उसका नाम से थोड़ा लोगों का already they're already in the back foot. So but I think India probably are the best T20 sides. If you see, uh, I think 2 World Cups and 1 World Cup final, few semi like I think one semi-final, एक ही semi, दो semi-final हारे हम, हाँ दो semi-final हारे. So probably India is probably right now on top when it comes to T20 World Cups. 2 World Cups. I think England also have 2 World Cups. West Indies have 2 World Cups, but putting in the final and then two more semi-finals, I think India would be the top performing T20 World Cup side right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't it?
Yesterday it was very deja vu, na? When the moment was like very much like Argentina winning the World Cup. काफी
हाँ
comparisons
true
भी
true
किया,
true.
and then Rohit also came
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah.
अच्छा था, मतलब it was pretty.
हाँ.
What I also liked is that, you know, कल
The,
जैसे they missed one. I won't say they missed a trick, but the fact is that the ball did not spin. They
hmm.
expected it to spin या कुछ slow होगा. Wicket से पूरा bite ही निकल गया. And then
Hmm.
सिराज खेलता तो फिर then would have had a very very good option. But खैर पता नहीं
Hmm.
था. But I'm just
So, but no,
saying,
Siraj, नहीं, अगर सिराज खेलता भी तो he would have probably played in place of Kuldeep, isn't it? Even in the first initial games, he played in place
no,
of
if they
Kuldeep.
had played Siraj, they
So
would have played him in front in place of Jadeja or Dubey.
Jadeja, I don't think in a knockout game they would drop Jadeja because अभी वो
नहीं, सो
इतना
वही कह
major
रहा
game
हूँ.
में
नहीं नहीं, nobody, none of these guys saw that the wicket
because they
would
were
just not assist
no
spin.
they were no but whatever be Rohit Sharma was very clear that he wanted batting till number 8
Yeah,
come
yeah,
what may, isn't it?
yeah.
So though Jadeja is hardly bowling, Jadeja ki bowling he's not even decent these days. He's bowling very average. He hardly bowls 1 or 2 overs.
He's retired.
So he's retired from T20 internationals. Probably,
Yeah.
of course, I think he didn't retire right away. So I think he would have been nudged by the selectors or
No,
retire
no,
ho
no.
jana to drop
I
you.
think they all made up their mind, and it was
See,
just
Jadeja would
easy.
have been, no. See, if you see purely on merit, Rohit Sharma can be in the T20 international side. And Virat Kohli, of course, in big games, he's a different beast. But I don't think Jadeja had a place in this team, even on merit. With people like, see, if he hardly bowls, then why not people like Tilak Verma? They can also bowl that 1 over for 10 runs,
Hmm.
who are proper batsmen, isn't it? Tilak
Hmm.
Verma, Rinku Singh. So अगर bowling नहीं करने वाला है, तो I don't think there's any point even considering Jadeja. The very
I
fact that
think
Jadeja plays is because he bowls. He's a pure bowler
नहीं
who
नहीं.
also bats very well.
I think once the cup was won, एक बार जीत गया तो फिर ये जितने
Uh-huh.
भी लोग हैं और जो मन में एक है कि एक और अटेम्प्ट कर लेते हैं, वो सब चले जाता है.
Uh-huh.
So all
Uh-huh.
these guys retiring or saying that this is my last hurrah for
And I mean
this
to say,
is.
no. What I mean to say is, even coming up for the Champions Trophy and the coming World Cup, I think Jadeja's place has to be relooked at.
Yeah, I think
Because if he's
ODI
not going to, uh,
it's going to be tough for Jadeja to get selected for
because with Akshar
Champions
doing
Trophy.
so well, because with
Yeah,
Akshar
yeah,
doing so
Akshar is a
well,
surety now.
and then with Kuldeep and Kuldeep also being probably the
Yeah,
future of Indian spin bowling, I think it's going to be difficult for Jadeja. And we need to start looking at new spinners. We
yeah.
need more. We just have one Kuldeep, but proper match-winning
नहीं, ऑल्सो
spinners
वी
like off.
फॉरगेट. बहुत लोग क्या बोलते हैं कि नहीं अभी स्पिन नहीं होता, ये नहीं होता, वो नहीं होता. बट लुक एट समबडी लाइक अश्विन और जडेजा एंड ऑल दीस पीपल. वो लोग फिंगर स्पिनर है, कर करके बेचारों की उंगलियां, मतलब दोस
Mhm.
फिंगर्स हैव लॉस्ट दैट बाइट ना. वो क्या कितना कर पाएगा. सो यू नो वी हैव टू बी pragmatic also about sometimes, which which is what I wanted to now bring now. If we look at it,
Mhm.
one of the thing was that what I liked about this World Cup, though the World Cup was bit बारिश वाला वर्ल्ड कप मेरे को बिल्कुल वैसे भी पसंद नहीं आता.
Mhm.
बट
But
जनरली
luckily, we didn't. All the three were like knockout games and there was no rain, so it was, I think,
Yeah,
a
and that's why
really
it got
great thing.
saved. Otherwise, we would have been in
Uh,
very
uh-huh.
in an irritating mode.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but what I was saying is कि Afghanistan came to semifinals. USA knocked out Pakistan. Nepal was almost on the brink of upsetting South
South
Africa.
Africa.
So T20, how matlab, these teams are which are coming up, except Bangladesh, everybody had their some moment of glory.
Mm-hmm.
Bangladesh, as usual, did not even know what to do. उस दिन तो 12 ओवर में जीतना चाहिए था यार. They did not even go for it. I mean,
Uh-huh.
ऐसा ऐसा खेल कौन खेलता है? बट ठीक
Mm-hmm.
है मतलब व्हाट डू वी से अबाउट बांग्लादेश. मतलब मेरा ये कहना है कि 2016 में है मोहम्मदुल्लाह उस बैंगलोर के स्टेडियम में वो सपोज टू फिनिश द गेम. आज 8 साल बाद भी आप उसी से फिनिश करवा रहे हो तो आपकी टीम आगे
Mm-hmm.
बढ़ी ही नहीं है ना.
Mm-hmm.
उम्मीद यही है कि वही फिनिश करके देगा. तो मतलब ऐसा थोड़ी होता है.
Mm-hmm.
मतलब दीज आर वी हैव कम आउट ऑफ 16 में हमारे लिए कोई और फिनिश करके दे रहा था. आज कह रहे हैं रिंकू करेगा या कोई और करेगा. सो
Mm-hmm.
दीज आर एनीवेज. My primary question to you is that does does the format, did you like the format of 3 or 4 people in one group and then they go up to the Super 6 or Super 8 and all,
See, when you see,
or would you
liking
like to
is
see the
one thing.
format of Australia where 6 were there and
See, no. The thing is, because when you want to globalize the game, you need to give more teams a chance, or else you can have the top 10 play like the way they played in the ODI
ODI
World Cup.
World
That's
Cup?
the best. That's the best because then it's the competition is really tough,
Hmm.
isn't it? So I think this was a because we don't want to have a long World Cup like the ODI World Cup. So probably this was a reasonably good format, more interesting, I would say. Of course, 4-4 में क्या होता है एक मैच हार जाते हो तो तुम बाहर हो जाते हो.
Hmm.
Like what we saw in the 2007 ODI World Cup, where India just lost one game and uh, one upset and you're out. Isn't it?
Hmm.
You lost to Sri Lanka. You lost to Sri Lanka later on, and then you beat like you lose to Bangladesh, you beat Bermuda, you lose to Sri Lanka, you're out. So I think war format in sometimes works against the interest of the World Cup as such because big teams getting knocked out very early is like not what everybody wants to see. Because when you get time for a team to set in, then the best team comes up forward. Like what we saw in the ODI World Cup, the top 4 teams really deserve to be the top 4 teams, isn't it?
Hmm.
There's no easy entry into the semi-finals. So
Hmm.
ये T20 World Cups में ऐसा हो जाता है कि थोड़ा easily you can just qualify to for super eights, isn't it? Like USA, actually, I think they defeated just 1 or 2 sides, and they were already in the super eights, and Pakistan got knocked out. So that's one issue with this kind of a format. But that's how the World Cup football is played, and when you want to globalize the sport with more teams, I think that will have to be the way forward.
Yeah. And so also one key issue here is that if you want to avoid an upset, then you have to be prepared and come without any complacency. Now, how Pakistan lost in a super over, right?
See, T20 upsets are going to happen,
Yeah.
because it's one player can really win a game for you. For example, USA has Corey Anderson.
Hmm.
Because USA is basically a team of what
Expats.
Steven Ticolo used to call was a team of mercenaries. Like that's what he called the team of UAE because they had lost to UAE. So there are hardly any homegrown players. But I'd like teams like Papua New Guinea, Nepal because they're all homegrown players.
Hmm.
USA also, of course, has a huge expat population, like not expat population, people from all over the world who lived there, and ethnic Indians, ethnic Africans. Probably, if you can look at players from that background, probably it will be better than importing players who already played under 19 cricket for other teams. Isn't it? Like Saurabh Netrawalkar played for under 19. He grew up in Mumbai. He played for Mumbai, and then he goes there and plays for USA. I think that will not develop a country's what do you call structure of cricket. That's what I feel. But like Papua New Guinea has like all indigenous people from that country who have grown up in that country. That's the same with Nepal. Kenya was like that. Namibia is like that. Zimbabwe is a bit like that. So, but South Africa is like that. But that's why these teams don't really uh, come up because you always expect people from other countries to come and play for you. Like Unmuk Chand, he won the under 19 World Cup for India. Now he's trying to find a place in the US team.
Hmm.
That's one thing which I find probably it doesn't really help that particular country become a cricketing nation.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I would think so, but yeah, if you have to globalize the sport and you want more people to be participative,
Uh,
then you
uh-huh.
need those upsets. And such
True.
formats allows you some upsets. And when you have
Yeah.
upsets, then so today Afghanistan, for whatever it is, for whatever money they played, they've come to the semi-final. Now they have to keep up to that and try and put in more efforts to be where it is.
Yeah, and Afghanistan winning like big games is not really a huge upset because they have such a world-class spinner in Rashid Khan. Probably one of the greatest T20 spinners of all times. So I think they do have a decent team with their like a lot of people having learned their cricket in Pakistan. I think they're going to be good. They're going to be a good competitive side in the future.
Yeah, yeah.
So
No, I'm not saying upset, but I'm saying coming to a semi-final was definitely an upset. Coming to
yeah,
Super
huge thing.
8 was not a upset.
Yeah,
But coming
yeah,
to
yeah.
semi-final was
Because
an upset.
because that yeah, this format also allows those kind of things to
That's what I'm
happen.
saying. So,
Uh-huh.
so I think it's a good thing because what really happens is then you cannot take any game for granted, right? I mean, so
Any
that
getting
that
for
way is
granted too.
yeah,
True.
yeah, and that's where India makes it very. It does very well, and I also believe New Zealand does it very well, but it did lose to Afghanistan. I think New Zealand just because of the same people playing Test cricket, ODI, T20, they just got tired and a bit cooked up and
Hmm.
were just not present for the scene.
Yeah. True.
Otherwise, New Zealand would have never lose to such a team which is
True.
lowerly ranked
Yeah,
than them.
see, they've reached two World Cup ODI World Cup finals, 2015 and 19. They won the World Test Championship. So I think they're also now learned to play the big games. They couldn't get past the semifinals in any of the
Yeah, yeah.
isn't it?
Even
So
in
the first
Dubai,
time,
also against Australia, they were the finalists.
yeah.
They were the finalists. So it was happening to Sri Lanka more often than they won in 2014. And then, of
Yeah.
course, Sri Lanka went for the decline, which we all
Hmm.
never imagined it would happen, but it did.
No,
Now,
because they didn't produce replacements. They have like such great players. Like even they when De Silva was there, we thought probably he's the greatest Sri Lankan batsman. We never thought we were going to find players better than De Silva,
hmm,
and they found not just one but two players who like at least 20% better than Arvind De Silva, like Mahela
hmm,
Jayawardena and of course
Sangakkara.
the great man Kumara Sangakkara. So I
Yeah,
think after their exit, I think their batting has gone a bit weak.
yeah.
I think that's where they really struggle now.
Yeah, they
Don't,
thought that
don't,
Dinesh Chandimal and a couple of
yeah,
others would do
Dinesh,
the
yeah,
Chandimal for he's a really talented fellow, but
yeah,
yeah,
Kushal
but you have to
Mendes,
yeah, but they need
yeah,
to go through
Kaushal Silva, yeah, all these guys, no?
yeah. But anyways, we'll talk about Sri Lankan cricket sometime else.
Kushal Pereira, yeah, Kushal Pereira, the guy who played that great knock in South Africa. So none of them really came through as big players. So that's where they again they also have a small base, so that's what they also have a problem there.
Yeah. Now, so let's come and we hardly have 5 minutes more to discuss. What do you think about the way forward? What should India do as a way forward? We know three retirements has happened.
In T20
Jadeja, Rohit
internationals,
Sharma, yeah. Not only
see
T20,
Jade,
I'm talking about generally what do you think this team should do?
see see again it's that's why you have to take each format separately. I think that's a mistake we were making in the like maybe 8 9 years back in T20s, that we were just picking Ajinkya Rahane and players like that to play the T20 like format. So I think that's where we have learned, and we are picking players purely on format to format basis. I think or else Shivam Dube scoring at 25 of 15 balls is vital, isn't it? Otherwise, as a player, you won't pick. Probably you'll pick some
Hmm.
more consistent lower order batsman. I think Shivam Dube showed yesterday that he can also play genuine fast bowling, and that was a really heartening thing to see. I
Yeah.
thought he can hit spinners, but I thought he wouldn't be able to really play fast bowling well. But I think a couple of shots he played against genuinely quick bowling was really good to see.
And also, what happens is once that confidence is there, he'll only grow
Mm-hmm.
from here. He'll only become better. Yeah, he'll become
True.
better than this.
No, it reminded me of Robin Singh. If you remember, he had played the Titan Cup final,
Yeah.
semi-final, Title Cup of last round robin game he played against Australia, where he didn't have to bat much, and the finals against '96 he really struggled,
Hmm.
and then he got run out. And but we thought, how can this guy play international cricket? But then he somehow got the confidence, and then he played well for like few years. So
Yeah.
I think Shivam Dube can be. I think comparing him with Yuvraj is just too much of a this thing, but I think he can be as good as a player like
Yeah,
say
I think
Robin saying.
Rohit was very, he was very, he's one thing he said is don't compare things. Like they were comparing Kapil Dev's
Yeah,
catch to Surya's.
yeah,
They're
yeah. No, no, no,
different.
what I mean to
They,
say, no. What I mean, no, what I mean to say is the position he plays on at number
yeah,
five
yeah,
numbers. Probably he should be slightly lower, but I think he can be almost as good a player, like who can handle. It depends on how he handles
yeah.
pressure because
I think
India hasn't chased.
Rinku will come back. Rinku will
Yeah,
get and he'll
yeah,
become what he deserves for.
yeah.
Because we have won. Nobody is now talking about Rinku, but we're all like, you know, बहुत गुस्से
True,
में थे
true,
ना कि
true.
वो पिक नहीं हुआ
Very
करके.
true.
He
Yeah, it was
he
definitely
definitely we thought he's
no, no,
it was
he
unjustified for
averages
Puthoff.
80. No, yeah, he averages 80, and he should have been there. But Sanju Samson made it because he also keeps wickets. So that's probably
Yeah,
the reason why Samson got picked, because you never know when you might need a second keeper.
yeah. And I
Uh,
also think so. They did the right thing by Zimbabwe. They got Shubman Gill as a captain, and they put a young team
mhm.
in the fray. Now, whether Shubman Gill will eventually become that kind of captain, we have to see. वो तो अभी पता नहीं हमें. But they did the right thing by getting all the new youngsters. Riyan Parag
Mhm.
हो गया, Abhishek Sharma
Mhm.
हो गया. They've just given chances to everybody. Now, 5 T20 is there, so it's a good thing. They'll all go
See,
and express
yeah,
themselves.
fine. But right now, see, T20 World Cup is still some time away. It's looking at the Champions Trophy. Who's going to lead India in the 2027 World Cup? Can Rohit play till then? That's the only question. If
Yeah,
he's not
yeah.
going to play till 2027 World Cup, then it's better to make a captain, even for Champions Trophy, who's going to lead us in the 2027 World Cup, isn't it?
I
So I
agree, but
think
I think what they will do is for this Champions Trophy and for the World Test Championship, Rohit will continue.
no, no.
And
World Test Championship, that's a different thing altogether. Test cricket, Rohit is going to play for another 1 or 2 years. Kohli is going to play for another 4, 5, 6 years, probably, hopefully. But I think looking at the Champions Trophy coming up next year, is Rohit going to go till 2027? It's 3 years away from now. Rohit will be 40 then.
नहीं, मैं वही आपको
So,
बोल रहा हूँ, वो करेगा कि
uh,
नहीं 27. आई एम इन अग्रीमेंट विथ यू, बट होना
mhm.
यही वाला है कि चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी और टेस्ट WTC के एंड तक ये रहने वाला है. उसके
नहीं,
बाद देन वी
WTC,
आर.
yeah, WTC तो करना ही है उसको. Of course, he is
हाँ,
going to be the Test captain for the next coming at
या
least
या
couple of years.
या
He is going to be the Test captain. So,
एनीवेज,
Rishabh
आई
Pant is
आई
probably
थिंक,
the future.
हाँ, I think Rishabh
See,
Pant can be invested on. Yeah, he's a good guy.
he see he's a world class batsman in Test cricket. So I think he also keeps wickets. So उसका position doubt में नहीं है,
Hmm.
isn't it? If he's fit, he's going to be the player behind the stumps. So keeping has become quite decent. So I think
And I
he's
think
again.
if Gautam Gambhir gets selected as the coach,
Mhm.
uh, I think Shreyas Iyer may actually become the captain for ODI at least. There is a chance.
Yeah,
But
let's see. No, that's I don't know because Shreyas Iyer again, it depends on whether he deserves a place in the team or not. वही problem है ना कि his batting has not really flourished the way we had imagined because he struggles against genuine pace overseas. So वो सब issues के वजह से I think Shreyas
नहीं,
Iyer
सो
might.
अभी वनडे टीम तो आपका वापस वही बनेगा जो 2023 वर्ल्ड कप में खेला. चैंपियंस
हाँ.
ट्रॉफी तो ऑलमोस्ट वही खेल रहा है. एक Jadeja is the guy who plays in
Mhm.
shambles, and now that this guy now knows रोहित
No,
शर्मा की 8 बैटर्स और 6 बॉलर्स चाहिए, वो उसी तरीके का टीम कंस्ट्रक्ट करेगा ओडीआई के लिए भी. हंड्रेड
but with
परसेंट
I think but Pant back, KL Rahul's position becomes a bit dicey, isn't it?
Yeah, it becomes
So
dicey. It becomes
So
dicey.
I think, but KL Rahul is batting so well that I think probably he should be there in the ODI team. Uh, Down the order. Okay, वहीं पे we've not had good
स्काई
players.
नहीं
No, like we've
खेलेगा.
not had.
देखो आप सुनो, स्काई अब वनडे नहीं
Uh,
खेलेगा. So
Hmm.
yeah, they will do some little bit of combination here or there, but the
Yeah,
crux will be this team only.
yeah.
This team
So
only will be
Pant at
the.
4 and KL Rahul at 5 probably gives us that
Yeah, yeah.
good buffer. Hardik, can he play? Like, can he last 50 overs? Can he bowl 10 overs? Also, थोड़ा doubtful है ना. So
Uh,
probably better to preserve him for the T20 format. वापस आके वो if he breaks down, it doesn't really like team is on a roll and he breaks down, then उसका टीम का पूरा ये चले जाता है ना.
रिदम
So
चले जाता
his
है.
rhythm चले जाता है. So probably Hardik can be left to
चलो,
play
आई
T20.
थिंक वे फॉरवर्ड पे हम अभिजीत को भी ले लेंगे एंड वील हैव अ
हाँ.
डिस्कशन ऑन इट व्हाट वी नीड टू डू
हम्म,
नेक्स्ट,
हम्म,
looking at the next 3 4 years. So we
ठीक है.
have hardly 1 minute left out. So your last
नहीं, कल
comments on what we have achieved again on
uh,
this one. Any tribute you want to give?
Jasprit Bumrah. I think the tribute, everything. I think Jasprit Bumrah. Hats off to them, man. The way he has, I think, really led the Indian bowling attack. I think it's something we've never seen before. We've seen the Curtly Ambroses, we've seen Wasim Akram, we've seen Malcolm Marshall. I have never seen a bowler like this coming out of India. It's something unique. We've had like Virat Kohli is there, but we've had Sachin Tendulkar, we've had Sunil Gavaskar, we have Rahul Dravid, we've had all-time great batsmen, but never have we had a fast bowler of this kind of pedigree. I think
Yeah,
he's in a different league altogether. I think he's up there with the greatest of all times, and I'm not exaggerating. He's up there with name Malcolm Marshall or Wasim Akram, Wakar Yunus. He's up there with any of them.
yeah,
Curtly Ambrose. I think that kind of a fast bowler coming through and playing such a bowling such a major spell in a World Cup final. I think that's something which we all need
yeah,
to cherish. I think
yeah,
that ball which he got Jansen was just desperately trying to survive. He
yeah.
knows.
Just
You remember Wakar Yunus coming used to run in, and the batsman knew what's coming, but still he wouldn't be able
mm,
to survive. So aisa tha. So I think uh, that's something I would really cherish.
great. I
And
think
of course,
for
and Kohli being the man of the match, because Kohli has played so brilliantly in so many World Cups. He's been the best run getter, and after the
sir,
2000,
time,
okay. So I
time,
think
time.
Yeah, Kohli being the man of the match in the World Cup final, Jasprit Bumrah being the man of the series. I think these two things really need to be cherished. I'm really
One
glad
thing,
Kohli scored that 78 in the World Cup final. Yeah, he
मुझे भी
deserved it.
बात
I
करने का
think.
मौका दें। मैं
हाँ
बस ये
हाँ,
कह
बोलो
रहा हूँ
बोलो
कि
बोलो.
मैं बस ये बोल रहा था कि कोहली के मैन ऑफ द मैच से मुझे ये चीज याद आता है कि इन दैट फाइनल इन 2007 was Gautam Gambhir who
Yeah, who
deserved the
deserved
man
it?
of the
Yeah.
match that day.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, having
Yeah.
said that, thank you. I thank Rohit Sharma, Rahul Dravid, Kohli, and Jadeja for what they've done. It's a different scenario, T20 team, but थैंक यू मैन। अगर आप लोग नहीं होते तो आज ये बात नहीं हो रही थी, ये खुशियां नहीं होती। थैंक यू,
Absolutely, absolutely.
थैंक यू भास्कर।
Chalo,
विल
thank you.
मीट लेटर, टेक
World
केयर।
T20 champions, India.
या, बाय बाय।
T20 World Cup champions now. Okay, bye bye.
बाय।